Welcome to this explainer. Let's just jump right into it today, because we are mapping out the ultimate 2026 transit guide to one of the most enchanting spots in the Philippines, the island of fire itself, Siquijor. If you're familiar with Siquijor, you already know about its turquoise waters, cascading waterfalls, and that deeply rooted mystical healing culture. But for years, figuring out how to get there from a major hub like Cebu was frankly a total logistical headache. Well, fast forward to 2026, and you've got an amazing choose-your-own-adventure setup to reach the island. Whether you're all about maximizing speed, stretching your backpacker budget, or just taking the scenic route, we have definitely got you covered.
Here is our roadmap for today. 1. Journey to mystical Siquijor. 2. The fastest route, flying. 3. Fast ferries via Bohol. 4. Budget ferries in Dumaguete. 5. Cebu Airport to Pier. And finally, 6. Essential Island Eco Rules. Let's get to it.
Section 1. Journey to mystical Siquijor.
Right off the bat, here's the overarching challenge. There are actually 0 direct fast ferries connecting Cebu and Siquijor, so you're forced to optimize your route based on what you value most. Just look at the sheer contrast in your options here. On one end of the spectrum, you've got a breezy 55-minute direct flight. On the exact opposite end, an 8 to 10-hour overnight slow ferry that crosses the Visayan Sea while you sleep. And right in the middle, we have our fast crafts and budget buses. There is absolutely a perfect route for every type of traveler.
Section 2. The fastest route, flying.
So the absolutely crucial number to remember here is 55. 55 minutes is literally all it takes to fly direct from Mactan Cebu International Airport straight to Siquijor, utilizing Sunlight Air's ATR-72 aircraft.
This specific 2026 development is a real game changer. It completely eliminates the massive headache of jumping between buses, trikes, and ferries. And the best part? Base fares are incredibly competitive, starting at just 488 pesos one way before taxes, and yes, that actually includes a 7-kilo carry-on. You just board in Cebu on a Sunday, Wednesday, or Friday, and under an hour later, you touch down at Siquijor's tiny, super efficient airport. Tricycles are always waiting right outside, so you can go from the tarmac to your beach resort in record time, totally refreshed.
Section 3. Fast ferries via Bohol.
Now, if flying doesn't match your itinerary, our next option is the ultimate mid-range choice. Because direct fast ferries aren't a thing, you're going to have to string together 2 separate ocean jet tickets. Step 1 is a 2-hour ride from Cebu Pier 1 over to Tagbilaran Port in Bohol. Step 2. You wait. You absolutely need to bake in a safe 60 to 90-minute layover buffer so you don't miss your connection. Then, Step 3, you hop on your second ocean jet ferry for a 1.5-hour ride directly to Siquijor Port. All in all, you're looking at about 3.5 to 5 hours of total transit time.
If you go with this passenger-only fast craft, timing is literally everything. For your outbound trip, you want to leave Cebu by 12 noon at the very latest. That ensures you can comfortably catch the 3:20 p.m. connection in Bohol. Coming back, you'll want to grab the 8:20 a.m. ferry out of Siquijor to safely make those late-morning ferries back to Cebu. Because these 2 legs have to sync up perfectly, it is highly recommended to book well in advance using platforms like TripHappy or 12Go Asia. Don't leave this to chance.
Section 4. Budget ferries and Dumaguete. All right, for you budget-conscious travelers or backpackers, the Series bus is absolutely going to be your best friend. You basically have 2 really solid overland options here. The first is the classic route via Dumaguete. You start at the Cebu South Bus Terminal and catch a bus heading down to Liloan Port. That takes about 3 to 4 hours. Then it's a quick 20-minute ferry over to Cebulan, a short trike ride to Dumaguete Port, and your final ferry straight to Siquijor. That whole journey takes 5 to 7 hours, but it only costs around 500 to 800 pesos total. Now, option 2 is the direct Series bus route. This is brilliant. You board the bus in Cebu City, and that exact same bus literally drives right onto a Ro-Ro ferry. It takes you all the way to Siquijor without you ever having to lug your bags between different trikes and terminals.
Now, if you go with that first option and find yourself hanging out at the Dumaguete port, you have one final choice to make. And it completely depends on where your accommodation is on Siquijor. You can take the Ocean Jet Fastcraft, which takes just 40 minutes and drops you at Siquijor Port. Perfect if you're staying in the super popular San Juan area. Or you can hop on the Super Shuttle Ferry. It's a bit slower at 1 hour and 20 minutes, but it's cheaper and it docks at Lorena Port, which is ideal if your hotel is up in the northern or eastern parts of the island.
But hey, what if you just despise transfers altogether? Or maybe you're bringing your own vehicle? Then the number you need to remember is 10. That's about how many hours it takes to ride the direct slow ferry from Cebu Pier 3 straight to Siquijor. Operators like Light Ferries and Starlight run these ro-ro vessels. They travel overnight, and get this, fares start at just 640 pesos. You board the ship, go to sleep, and wake up ready to explore the mystical island.
Section 5. Cebu Airport to Tier. Now that you've picked your ferry, we need to talk about the first-mile logistics, getting from the Mactan Cebu Airport to Pier 1. You've got two distinct paths here. If you want pure convenience, like if you're traveling with heavy luggage, just fire up the Grab app or jump in a white or yellow airport taxi. It's door-to-door to Pier 1 and runs about 250 to 450 pesos. On the flip side, if you're a solo backpacker saving cash, take the local MyBus from the airport to SM City Cebu for just 50 pesos. From there, it's a very short, maybe 100 peso taxi ride for the final leg to the pier.
But listen, no matter which of those you choose, you absolutely must respect Cebu City's traffic. It is wildly unpredictable. Actually, unpredictable is an understatement. During the 7 to 9 a.m. or 5 to 8 p.m. rush hours, your travel time can easily double. When you get in your taxi, politely ask your driver about taking the CCLX. That's the massive new toll bridge. It bypasses the crazy congestion on the older bridges. Yes, you might have to shoulder a small toll fee, but it is 100% worth it to guarantee you don't miss your ferry boarding time.
Section 6. Essential Island Eco Rules.
Okay, let's pivot to something incredibly important. Siquijor is a heavily regulated zero-waste province, and you need to know the rules before you step off the boat. Single-use plastics aren't just frowned upon here. They are strictly banned by local law. No single-use plastic bags, no straws, no styrofoam containers. If you bring them, ferries or local businesses will literally confiscate them. Do yourself a favor. Pack a good reusable water bottle and some cloth eco bags for the markets.
Beyond just the waste management, there is a clear etiquette you need to follow. You're going to see color-coded bins everywhere. Make sure you use them correctly. Green for biodegradable, blue for recyclable, black for residual. Also, keep in mind Siquijor has a deeply rooted Catholic heritage. Swimwear is totally fine on the beach, but you need to dress modestly, covering your shoulders and knees when walking through towns or exploring those historic churches. Finally, there is strictly no smoking on any beach or public transport. And please, only use reef-safe sunscreen. We want to protect those incredible coral ecosystems.
And just a quick but important note on culture. A lot of folks visit Siquijor specifically to witness its traditional folk healers. If you do, remember that this is a living, breathing culture. It's not an amusement park attraction. Keep your voice low, always ask permission before snapping photos of locals or rituals, and compensate people fairly. These regulations aren't there to annoy us as tourists. They are the exact reason Siquijor has maintained its authentic, pristine magic, while so many other islands have become totally overdeveloped.
So we've broken down the one-hour flights, the multi-leg fast crafts, the ultra-cheap Ceres bus routes, and the essential island eco rules. The ball is in your court now. Which transit route makes the most sense for your travel style? And maybe more importantly, how are you going to rise to the challenge of being a responsible zero-waste visitor once you arrive? Pack that reusable bottle, lock in your route, and get ready for an unforgettable adventure. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and what are you waiting for? Get out there and travel safely.